Buying a house today honestly feels insane. Okay, because what do you think about when you hear $500,000 house? Do you still feel like that's rich? A lot of people might be like, oh, he's rich, bought a 500. But it's crazy because in a lot of cities, even in my city, that we didn't really think it was gonna happen, but it is happening. A $500,000 house is just a normal house. Um, and the craziest part is that people are not really buying home prices anymore. They're buying monthly payments, kind of like what they're doing with cars, and they're just extending. They're doing more payments. Um, there was like this joke about this guy that bought a truck, and he's only paying $1,000 a month for like a billion years. It's like I'm like, your truck's gonna break down before you're even done with the payments. Like, what's going on? So, anyways, let's break down what a $500,000 house actually costs in 2026, um, and why so many people feel like stuck right now. So, first off, if you bought a $500,000 house with 3% down, you get out of here. We don't like you. I'm joking. We do like you. But it's gonna be way different than a 6% or 6.5%, because if when you go from 3 to 4 jump, then you go from 4 to 5. That 4 to 5 jump is even higher than the 3 to 4. It's not like it's exponential. It's not like it's not addition. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe your tax and insurance are the same, because like obviously they would be the same, but the principal and interest is going to be dramatically different, probably even 1,000 plus difference, and that's huge. Okay, um, that's the same house. Maybe we can do the math, but a give or take maybe $1,000 to $1,500 difference. Okay, so let's say you put 5% down. That's 25K for a $500,000 house. Then you got to add closing costs, which are about 10K. Okay, so you're at 35. Now furniture, now moving costs, now whatever. I got a buddy that moved from Texas back here to Raleigh, and the moving costs were 14K. So now maybe you're moving from like one city to the next, so that's not going to be that much, but that adds up. So you're looking at like at least maybe like 45 to 50K cash right now to buy a $500,000 house. Okay, that's out of pocket, out of your net worth. Kind of, it's still kind of part of your net worth, but the closing costs are not. Moving costs are not. So um, principal and interest. So you got to pay principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. But your principal and interest are probably going to be like about $3,000 or so. Um, then you have your taxes and insurance. Call it another 1,000. That's 4,000. Then you got PMI, because you didn't put 20% down, so you have to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance. Then you have, what else you have? You have utilities. You have maintenance. That's maintenance and utilities, probably another 500 to 600, even more depending on the house that you buy. So we're looking like between $4,500 and $5,000 a month for a $500,000 house. And you don't really think about it that way. You just think like, no, it's probably like 35 to 4. But then it's like maintenance, utilities, insurance, like all that adds up. All right, I guess utilities you can, because when you rent, you don't have to pay utilities, but utilities are higher for a home, so you need to take that into consideration too. And that is a pretty normal house. It's not a mansion. That's not beachfront property. Just a normal house in a decent area. What I would say most people want, right? Um, this is why housing feels impossible right now, because 4,500 to 5,000, that's a salary. I know, I've I know somebody making 50, and then take home it's like 3. So 45 is what, give or take like 75, 80K maybe. So that is a salary, and then that's just housing. That's crazy. Um, and it's crazy even, but for people like to remember their parents buying like houses for 200K, and we're seeing TikToks of people that had like 2.8% rates back in 2021. So that comparison game kind of destroys people mentally. It's like, oh crap, well, getting ready to pay $4,000 for this thing. Like, I don't have anything left, you know? So I understand both sides, because if you're buying today, it's frustrating. You save for years, you finally make decent money, and then you realize that the monthly payment still feels brutal. But at the same time, a lot of homeowners aren't selling either because they got lower interest rates. We're seeing a little bit more now, more sellers. As a real estate agent here in Raleigh, I am seeing a little bit more inventory. There's prices are starting to come down a little bit, but we have a pretty strong market here in Raleigh, so it's like not crazy like other parts of the country. Now that I'm talking about that, yep, I'm an agent here at Raleigh. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, house hack, like I'm going to talk about that a little later. Hit me up, add me on Instagram, and I can help you in this area, Raleigh and surrounding RDU, or Durham, Chapel Hill, even Wake Forest and everything. So let me know. And if you're doing it anywhere else in the United States, I can point you in the right direction. I can recommend you an agent that's going to be a good agent instead of just going through Zillow or Realtor.com, because, you know, that's going to be atrocious probably. But, well, hit or miss, but it's better to have a referral. So let's go back into this. So let's keep reading here. Hold on. I mentioned house hacking. This is the reason why I love house hacking, okay? Because it just reduces housing costs, okay? When I bought my very first home, I think it was like an $800, $900 payment. I even back then, I even thought, I was like, man, that's a lot, because I was like living with my parents. And so zero. So I'm going from 0 to 800. I was like, dang, dude, like that's a lot of money. I don't know if I should buy it. Like in hindsight, I was like, I should have bought 20. But yeah, there's no way I would have made it. I would buy a 20 unless it was like other type of loans, not conventional. But I decided to house hack. I rented out a room, and I was getting $600 off of that. So like technically I was just paying $200, which principal was even more than that. So I was living for free. So that's basically what house hacking is. It doesn't matter the amount that you save, you're just saving. Okay. So if you don't want to rent a room, because maybe you think that's weird, you can have a basement and rent out the basement as an Airbnb or a midterm rental, or you have an ADU in the back, or attached or detached, or maybe you convert a detached garage into an ADU and like a little mother-in-law suite or whatever, and you can make money that way. That's why I love ADUs, duplexes, renting by the room, anything that offsets the payment. I love that, because I feel like I don't feel it is what it is. It's like a little person working for you. So like with midterm rentals or an Airbnb, you can make like maybe $2,000 to $3,000 from that part of your home, and that's like an extra person kind of bringing in income. Okay, it's like you have it's like 3 spouses now. You know, that's kind of like how I see it. So like the little discomfort of like, okay, hey, like the water isn't working, or like this light isn't working, you got to go fix it, or whatever it did. Like, hey, I need, like, if it's an Airbnb, I need another trash bag. It's like, whatever, like just a couple hours a month for like $2,000 to $3,000. I mean, I'll take that. Or like coordinating cleanings or whatever. Once you understand it, like the time per dollar is massive. Okay. Now, unless you're watching this and you're probably not watching this and you have like a crazy successful business, because if you have a crazy successful business, just put more money into the business, make more money that way. You don't have to house hack. This is for the normal person. Like I'm telling you, this is a cheat code to wealth, because it's just a lot of money for not that much effort, because you're living in the home anyways. It's your home. Okay. So pick your home right. And if you need help with that, I'm happy to point you in the right direction. I'm happy to answer your questions. Add me on Instagram, like I said, or just message me here on YouTube, and I'm happy to answer your questions. The more value I bring, like ask me whatever. Like I'm wasting time, but not really. I'm answering your questions, and my hope is that this channel gets monetized at some point with the more value I bring, and maybe you give me a referral for my realtor business and anywhere in the United States, and it's a win-win for everybody. Okay. So let's keep reading here. Let's see, because if your house can help you pay, like, okay, here we go. That was the house hacking thing. So even if it's 4,000, you make 2 from the house hacking thing. It's only 2,000. You're saving half. You were thinking you're gonna pay 4, but now you're only paying 2. Okay, that's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so let's keep reading here. Yes, this is where I wanted to get. So housing affordability, it just becomes very serious now. Unless like rates fall all of a sudden, which I doubt it. I don't know when they would fall, but like I doubt they'll fall anytime soon because of the whole war thing and inflation thing, or like if you know, if rates fall significantly, which I don't think they will, if incomes rise significantly, which I think they are rising, and like even people are even working second jobs or doing gigs, then you can afford it. But it's like, is that really the life that you want to live? Or if prices soften, which is the thing that I think would happen before the other two, and it's obviously market dependent, because here in Raleigh, for example, we have a pretty strong market. So even when the rates fall like under 6, like 5.99, like people are like, let me get pre-approved. It's like people want to buy. Okay, people want to buy down the rate, to get to that number that is comfortable for them. So just rates drop a little bit and people just rush in. And when people are rushing, there are not many concessions from the seller. It just becomes a harder market to like negotiate for the buyer and everything. So it just becomes more competitive. Okay. Let's see here. Let's keep going. There was this one thing I wanted to say at the end. Yes. So if you're buying right now, if you're thinking about buying, the biggest thing is like not timing, because nobody can time it. Okay. Like rates or whatever. Just ask yourself, can I comfortably afford this for the next 5 to 10 years? And the question is, if the answer is yes, then go for it. Sometimes people do ARMs. I'm not a big fan, but I do have an ARM, like an adjustable rate mortgage. And at some point you may have to refinance, maybe not, depending on where rates are. But that might be a good way to get in, and then kind of, because sometimes rates are like a 5.1, 5.5 instead of 6.5. And it's like, it's a big drop in payment. But I'm not a financial advisor. Talk to your lender, talk to your agent, talk to your attorney or whatever, or CPA, or whoever you need to talk to make the best decision possible. But anyways, I make these videos. If you like it, please like and subscribe. I usually give like little anecdotes of what's happening in my realtor business or in my short-term rental Airbnbs, midterm rentals, long-term rentals. And the more value I bring, I'm not just an agent, realtor, I'm also an investor. So if you have any questions about anything real estate, happy to answer. Add me on Instagram, say hi, let's become friends, and I'll see you next week.